Good evening and welcome to ClausenWorld. It is time to give the plants a little bit of fertilizer. It's rained last week a few days, and we've had a couple of days of reprieve from the rain, so it's time to give some fertilizer. So join me in the garden while I do a little bit Now this is not Miracle Grow, this is Fish Emotion 511. I just so happen to put it in this container because this container will allow me to use a full strength concentrate in here, and it'll dilute it with water without me having to continually put it in a bucket and adding that bucket full of water and then pouring that onto the plants. I can do a one-stop shop with this. To take a look at my leaf mold to see how it was doing, and I thought I would show you guys what it looks like. I started this past fall, and I have added to it about 2 or 3 times. So I am just moving it around a little bit just to see what it looks like towards the center. I'm not going to go all the way towards the bottom. It smells very much like a forest floor. If you've ever walked through a forest, any forest has a particular smell. That's exactly what this smells like. It doesn't stink. And I'm really excited at the progress. It takes about 2 years for leaves to turn down into leaf mulch or leaf mold, and this is breaking down quite nicely. The leaves towards the center are a little bit more broken down, so it's looking really good. And I just wanted to show you guys what my leaf mold looks like. And it's only been a few months because I just started this past fall. There you go, leaf mulch. If you're wondering what I have in here, I have leaves, I have coffee grounds, and I have urine. And I have not added anything to it up until today. I put a little bit of water in it because there was some insects, looked like ants, on the very top. And on the top is where all the leaves were really, really dry. So that's why I decided to toss it about a little bit. You can see right here, that dry, that was on the top. So I'm just trying to work that in a little bit. Again, only going to the center, not all the way to the bottom. Because the leaf level had dropped, I just put some more dry leaves on top. I am just going to give it a little bit of water, and then I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to let it sit for a little while longer. And I'll come back, I don't know, a couple of weeks, take a look at it and see what it looks like. I have a black plastic bag, I have some leaf area, and I have a paper bag that is nothing more than a leaf collection bag on the top to keep everything as moist as I possibly can keep it. So that's the bag a little bit more. So it's actually covering the leaves. And I'm just going to leave this here like this. And I will check on it periodically. I decided to add some more coffee grounds on top of these dry leaves. And then I'm going to cover it up like you just saw me do. And I'm going to let it sit for another few weeks. And I'll come back and check on it. Okay, on my Japanese sweet potatoes that I planted about a week or so ago, they are rooting nicely. There's a little bit of top growth, not much, but a little bit. And so I just wanted to show you all that my potatoes are still alive. They are suffering a little bit because of all the rain. They are a tiny bit yellow, but they are alive. They are giving new leaves. If you can see here, they're giving new leaves. So they're doing okay. I'm not going to water it. I'm going to leave it. It's still very moist. But this is an update on the Japanese sweet potatoes. I have about 7 slips inside the house that I need to bring out and plant up. And when I do that, I'll bring you back to companion plant my sweet potatoes. And I'm going to put some pinto beans as well as some black beans into this bag. I didn't companion plant anything with these potatoes, and I want to make sure that I get the best harvest that I possibly can and deters bugs if at all possible. And I found a northern bean in the kitchen under my Instant Pot as I was cleaning. So I'm going to put him in here too, because why not? You can never have too many beans. So I'm just going to plant a couple of beans in here and see what happens. Now my beans are pretty old. I don't know how old those northern beans were. These black beans say 2016. I don't know if you can see that. I don't have a lot in here, but I have a few. So I'm going to put a couple of them in here. See if I can get some. And I'm going to put these black beans on this side of the bag. I'm just going to drop 2 in a hole at a time, going down to the second digit, covering them up. Now the soil is still moist, so I'm not going to water this in. I'm going to let it be for a little while. I should water it in, but this soil is still very moist, and I don't want to disrupt the roots of these potatoes. So I'm going to give it just a little while longer before I water it in. I'm sure it will be fine. There we go. So that's a couple of black beans. Now I have several more that I can plant, but I'm not going to plant those. I might plant them later in a different area just to use up these last few beans. That way if they sprout, I can always save some seed for myself for the following year or years to come. Now I'm going to plant these pinto beans. Let's see. The pinto beans also say sell by date 2016. That's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead on and plant these beans, because they do say they're old. Now, in my experience, sometimes you get good germination with old beans, and sometimes you don't get any germination with old beans. So that's one of the reasons why I am planting 2 at a time to get maximum germination. See, do I have one more spot I can put a bean? Let's see. Where can I put a bean? Now it looks like this particular, yep, it sure has. This particular baby has vined out, so I'm going to let him rest on the outside of that bag. They're actually putting on some growth, so I am pleasantly surprised. I'm going to put few more beans in here, got a little bit more space. Now that I know that that was actually a vine that I picked up, and now I'm just going to cover the soil that I've disrupted with the leaves that I have in here. That's keeping the soil moist. And I think that will be it for me. I might have one more activity in the garden. No, wait a minute. Do I want to put one more bean right here? Can't remember if I put any beans right there. I'm gonna put one more bean right there, because I can't remember if I put beans in that spot. Worst that can happen is I have double germination right there. All right. So I put some beans right there. Patted it down, covered it over with leaves, and that is it. I'm glad I looked in here. These are vining. They are actually really happy where they are. All right, so let's see what I have else in the garden for me to do. To give you guys an update on the peanuts that I planted about a week or so ago. They are coming up nicely. They have some really good top growth on them. The wind and rain hasn't really done a whole lot to them to damage them, so I'm really excited about that. But I just wanted to give you an update on my peanuts, and I will be planting more peanuts, and when I do that I will take you guys. Okay, I am back in the garden. This is a bag that I took potatoes out of earlier, I don't know, was it earlier this week, end of last week? Watch my last video. That'll definitely tell you when this pot was harvested, because I can't remember. But I harvested some potatoes out of this pot, and now I'm going to put some peanuts. I keep saying pot, but I know this is a bag. You know how your mind tells you to say something? So I am just going to pour the water out. I've been letting these peanuts soak for about 24 hours, give or take. This is a little bit less time than the last peanuts that I soaked and planted, sat in water. Those actually did a lot of sprouting. These don't have very many sprouts on them. So I'm just going to strategically place them in the pot. I have 6 of them. Can you guys see? Just placing them in the pot, and I'm just going to do like I always do with everything that I plant. I go 2 digits down, so I'm just going to push them down 2 digits like so, and I'm just going to cover them up like so. And because there's a couple of wigglies in this pot, I am just going to take my glass recycled jar and firm them in. Just firming them in, making sure there are no air pockets and that the peanuts are firmly seated in the soil. Now I'm going to place this over by the potato lane because that's where the other bag of peanuts reside. And I'm going to give this a thorough water because this bag is a little bit dry. So I'm going to give it a thorough watering and I'm going to let it do what it do. All right, let's see what else I have to do in the garden today. I am almost out of daylight, so I am going to finish up and call in the evening. So thank you for joining me in the garden, and I'll see you again in tomorrow's episode. Attempt to use these items right here to include my sewing machine to make my very own homemade fabric pots. Now that black roll is weed barrier, just some weed barrier that I've had for years. I don't even know the thickness of it or the strength of it, how long it lasts. I know it lasts quite a while in the garden. So I'm just going to use it as an experiment. I'm going to be cutting some pieces down, sewing them together, and I will try to show you my step-by-step. But this is an experiment. I've never done this before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out.